You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is December 10th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Drainage Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, we'll call the December 10th, 2024 LaPorte County Drainage Board meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe Cusack.
Here.
Dean Glasgow.
Here.
Tony Hendricks.
Here.
Johnny Grammarosa.
Here.
Jeff Fitzner.
Here.
Humphries.
Sorry.
Can we have approval from last month's meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. I'd like to add one thing to the agenda, the William Arm of the Teesburg Ditch. We'll make that number 9B. Anything else we need to add? Okay, number 2, drain tile repair project, Travis Arm of the Rodman Ditch.
Yeah, we received a complaint on this one from Dale Tuholsky that there was sinkholes in the field along that drain. I went out and verified that there are a couple of sinkholes there, and they do line up with our tile that's in that area. I would request a motion that we put this out for bid to fix those tiles in that area, or the tile in that area. I believe it's an 18-inch clay tile that's in that spot.
Old timers know anything about that? Hugh?
I went out and looked at that. I saw the sinkholes as well. They're pretty small. Looks like the property owner or the tenants cleaned up the trees around the manhole, but there is a property border with probably 80 foot wide of tall trees going over top of this tile right next to where the sinkhole is. I would like to see in the bid removal of those trees over the right of way, because those roots, I think, affect that tile, especially since it's a clay tile with gaps in it.
So is that a motion, Hugh?
Well, we're discussing it right now. Yeah, I can put that in a motion that we include the removal of the trees, but I don't know how wide the right-of-way is. I don't know how wide to specify the trees be removed. However, I would prefer that the trees be piled on the edge of the right-of-way in a pile, but not burned or buried. What we want is the trees dead. But I think the landowner, if the fence was wide enough, a pile wouldn't hurt anything. But for the contractor to have to remove the trees would double the price of the bid, I think.
It's just a standard easement, right? I mean, it's just a regular easement as far as the ditch is concerned. Are you just concerned as far as where the boundary would be of the easement? Is that what you're asking? Or?
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy where the boundary would be, but I don't know how wide the easement is. I would think you would need to clean at least 60 feet, probably maybe 100 feet of trees to keep the roots out of the tile.
Would this be a 75-foot, Tony? Are you aware of what he's talking about? John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Buried.
There's trees right there that I'd like to see gone.
Yeah.
Buried tiles.
And those trees are 60 feet tall, some of them. They've been there a long time. That tile's been there a long time. But you get tree roots in a tile doesn't function.
So do you want him to tear the trees out, or do you just want him to take them down?
Want him to take them down. He can chainsaw them off, or take them out by the roots either way, but they need to be dead.
Well, if he chainsaws them off, we put in the bid. If he chainsaws them off, we're gonna spray. He needs to spray them.
Yes, definitely need to be sprayed. But I think that those trees are affecting that tile, and I think they have over the years, because we worked on this tile 3 times since I've been on this board.
And so have they cut them down in the past and then they regrow, or are you getting just sucker growth off of the?
Well, not if you treat them with Tordon.
Yeah.
They should be dead, but
Looks like they've never taken
Yeah, they've
them
never
down.
taken them.
if you take it a wide enough swath through there, the farmer can go through with his disc or whatever and keep them down. Because I think it's the same farmer on both sides.
Do you want to make the bid bifurcated, or do you just want to do it only if they're removing the trees as well? In other words, do you want to, John requested a certain action on the bid, you're adding to it. Do you want to have the bids break it down one way and the other, or just all together?
All together, because contractor's gonna have to have a backhoe in there to fix those tile. Same backhoe can take the trees down and pile them.
Okay.
Well, let's just put it that he's got to tear them out by the roots instead of cutting them off. That way, then we get rid of them, and hopefully the farmer can go through there and keep it clean. Then,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and we'll discuss with the farmer about after we do all this that he needs to keep that clean.
Yeah, if you tear them out by the roots, all he's got to do is mow it every year or whatever.
Yeah.
So is that the motion?
Is that your motion, Hugh?
Thanks,
We need-
but thank that we had this discussion. Yes, that's some good input. I would move that the trees be removed in the right of way, but we still haven't established how wide we need the trees to be removed on the bid. 75 foot from each side, that would put it 140 foot of trees, or you want to go with 100 foot?
Why are you shaking, Tony?
75 too much. We don't have that kind of easement. Honestly, I would say 75 foot total.
Total, 75 foot wide.
So we don't know what our easement is back there where the tile's at?
It's a different type of easement.
That's why I'm asking.
It's right. It's not 75 feet from the middle on each bank, because it's
Yeah.
not a ditch.
It's a center. It's 75 feet
So-
from the center of the tile. So you could
So
go
you're
150.
32 and a- so
you
you're-
could go 150, but do you really want to go that far? It's 75 feet from the center of the tile.
Okay.
Each side.
And we've got a pretty good look. I mean, we've got an exact location of the tile.
No.
No.
No, but they'll have that when they dig up, because it's right next to the fence row. So they'll see how it's pointed.
Between the board, 75 or 100, it's up to board's discretion. I mean, depends what trees you're gonna. Depends what trees you're gonna find and how far they are off. I mean, that
Make it 100 foot,
100 foot.
50 foot on both sides.
And you're just putting it out for bid at this point. So
So we have the motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Michiana Shores White Ditch Agreement.
yeah. Dinah Dumbris is here, but I can give you the update from their last town board meeting last month. And again, this is where there's 3 sections of the White Ditch up near Michiana Shores. A number of years ago, the town entered into an agreement with the drainage board so that they could get a grant to beautify and fix up the section of the ditch. Then they came back for a second section. That first section is expired. The town is ceding control of that back to the drainage board. So there's no action that needs to be taken. We're just reporting back from the town. They don't want to continue that agreement, which had expired already. I don't, quite frankly, know that they needed to or could have, but it's more reporting back to the board that now basically those 2 sections of the White Ditch and Michiana Shores are back under your jurisdiction, your control. There's been a good partnership between the town and the board as far as them reporting when work needs to be done and then coordinating for it to be done. That was the one point the town wanted to emphasize, is that they hope that partnership continues to go forward. And also just in consideration when work is done on that ditch, they did a lot of work in improving a walkway and a trail. And I know the board will take that into consideration when you're putting out for any bids that may need to be done on work out there. So, but it's more just an update that agreement's expired. It's officially expired, and you guys are back now in control of that section of the white ditch.
Okay, thank you. Was that the ditch too that you were going out to do some measurements on, Tony?
Yep.
So you want to report on that now?
Yeah, in front, there's a map, and you can see that if you work from Michiana going west and south, most of the silt in that ditch is sitting there at the end, which we would think it would, that the Michiana ditch area between Pokagon and Michiana, there's about 1.75, 2.25 feet of silt in that ditch, and then from Pokagon to El Portal there's about 1.25 to 1.75 feet, and from Oakdale to El Portal there's about 0.75 to 1.25 feet. So as you see it flowing to the north and to the east, it starts accreting more silt in that ditch. So it's up to the board if they would like to bid out a cleaning of that ditch. And like Brad said, we want to make sure, because we're not going to haul it out, but we want to make sure we don't ruin trails or everything, the improvements in that area. But we've done this before 3 or 4 times in my tenure. So we go out and look for bids to clean it to the natural bottom and put it on the.
How far is that section you want to go?
I don't know offhand. I mean,
Is it a mile? Not quite, probably.
no. It's just that it's an incorporated area and it's a very sensitive area. So you need the right person in there, not make a mess of it. 1,400 feet.
Oh, you don't want some farmer in there?
Well, we had in the past years we've had Al do it, and he's done a great job. I mean, he's really conscientious about keeping it clean. You just don't. You need somebody who's going to be conscientious about keeping it clean and putting the sand on the bank, because it's just beach sand in there. It's not something you see most in the area. It's really nice beach sand, but the dune grass grows back through it. It's just you want to make it look nice and not just put chunks of it on the bank.
So you're requesting us to
I would put it out for bid.
Put it out
I would
for
put
bid.
out all 3 sections out to bid and see what they cost, because it's not going to matter whether it's 1 or 3 sections. The person's going to bid and they're going to be there. They're going to mobilize in there and do it. So your price isn't going to decrease if you pick a section or not a section. It's the same animal digging 1 or digging all 3.
So do I have a motion
Motion to put all 3 sections out for bid.
in separate sections?
So Tony,
10-4.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Motion passed.
That's not it.
Tree removal on the Bull Ditch.
I went out last week and checked this. It hasn't changed. The homeowner stopped removing the tree that was on his property, so it hasn't. Nothing has really changed out there in the last month.
Trees not in the water, trees on top of the bank.
One tree is on top of the bank, across the top, and one is parallel with the flow in the ditch.
And this is the one that's
This is the one that,
close to the road.
yeah, that's the one.
You could ask what county highway would charge you to take it out.
I
Probably pretty busy, but
give me the location and then I'll work with highway.
we could pay him.
Yeah.
There you go. Table it till
Table it till county finds out what the county highway. So we'll just table it for another month.
The address.
Tobin Armor, the Rodman Ditch project bids.
Well, I'm going to give you all the bids together. The top 2, I don't know which one those are for, so I better open those first.
there's 2 on top that don't have a.
Are these all for the?
Well, those
Oh,
two on
wait,
top,
wait.
I don't know.
We doing 5?
Hold on, wait.
2 on the top that you handed that way.
That's section B. That's for the Kankakee.
There's 10 for the Kankakee, and then there's one
Phillips,
for Behringer, one for McKellips, and I don't know what the other 2 are.
Behringer.
The
We need to open.
I'll open this top
Yeah.
two.
These all seem to be Kankakee.
What was that one for? You didn't look? Didn't look.
Yeah, we're gonna hold those flat on Friday.
Okay, so this is Behringer. Jim. We're working on a Tobin right now. Do you have any more for the Tobin?
Nope, these are all Kankakee.
Okay, so we got for the Tobin arm of the Rodman Ditch project. Looks like we have one bid. Just making sure that's all we have is one bid. 2,640 foot dig ditch, remove 1 to 2 inch spoils, original bottom, level ditch spoils within easement. $29,040 from Lomer. Is it Lomer Ag Products?
Wilbur.
Lomer?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, okay, something.
That's what I'm looking now.
Yeah, you got it.
Who was this? Who was this? Who was this requested by?
Freeland, Ken Freeland?
And
Ken Freeland?
were you out and looked at this?
I have.
How bad is it?
It's bad.
They got money to fund and they want it done.
It's $100 a foot.
It's Lomer. From,
It's pretty expensive, man.
it's only one bid?
Only one bid. That's what I'm saying. I think we need to table it. Get rebidded.
Motion to table,
Motion to table and rebid.
then rebid.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Behringer Ditch Project. You got any Behringers?
No, these are all
Kankakee.
Kankakee.
Wait a minute, I skipped one. Okay, we're gonna go, we did the,
We did Tobin.
We skipped McKillop's.
we'll go back to that one, because I'm already opened this other one. Okay, so now I'm opening up the Behringer Ditch project. It looks like we only have one bid, nope, 2 bids for the Behringer. So Allsop for the Behringer, $9,900. And from Lowmore, the Behringer Ditch Maintenance, 3,700 feet, $40,700.
Lomer's a new bidder. I haven't heard them bid with us before. Have they done
Is that
anything?
Chris Langer?
Huh?
Is that Chris Langer?
From Monterey.
Well, also way lower, so.
Same scope of work for each of them, right?
Well,
What was also 9,900?
9,900.
There we go. Does good work. Sorry, does good work.
I move we accept Alsop's bid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. All right, now we're gonna go back up to the McKellips ditch project. Only one bid here, right?
How does it work?
How far is that we're going on the McKellips ditch?
Is it in the bid there?
He don't have it written down.
9,504 feet, or 1.8 miles.
Who was this requested by?
This was back when then Christie was working on this, and this got pushed back to the fall.
1.8.
I'm seeing if it's in here. I can't remember offhand who it was, but it was a request by the public.
How bad is this ditch?
It's pretty overgrown.
So we're doing tree work, tree removal, and digging it?
I believe so. Yes.
Ken Rutz.
There you go. Ken Rutz is.
Oh, Ken Rutz.
Rutz is back.
Okay, so I have one bid here for 1.8 miles, $23,900. $23,900.
Here, sure. How much money we got in it?
We got any pictures of this?
What's the amount in the fund?
6,900.
So I have a motion to table this and rebid it.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, so now we're gonna have Kankakee River tree removal project bids.
There's one company, there's, they broke it down from A
H.
through H, and then here's the other company, so there's two bids.
Holy cow.
You can always go rob a bank.
Okay, so here's my question.
You're gonna read these.
I can
gonna-
already tell you we're not gonna accept any of these.
You're gonna read these aloud. We have 7,900 in the fund. We're gonna forward this to the Kankakee River Basin Commission and see if they would like to pay for any money that we have that we don't have. And they meet on Friday.
Okay, so
So you're gonna read the bids and maybe commit the $7,900 that we have
Yeah,
if they will take
Read the
it.
bids and commit our $7,900 in the FEMA account with partnership of the Kankakee River Basin Commission.
What do the bids total?
Well, just read them out and put them on
He's
record.
gonna love us.
okay, so
Just put them on record. None of this work is cheap.
Keep on going and I'll take it for you.
all right, so this is from Allsep, Section A. So he's got $50,000 due A, B, C, and D from what I can see. A,
B, C.
A, B, C, and D. Or to do the lump sum of A, B, C, and D, he's gonna give us a $2,000 break at $98,000. That was pretty generous.
So what was that? There's $50,000.
$50,000 per section, A, B, C, and D.
Four sections. That's 200. That's $200,000.
Oh, yeah, okay. So price to do lump sum A, B, C, and D is $98,000,
Half price.
half price. Right?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
missed added.
It's a lot of money, but it's not bad for that kind of work on the Kankakee. We don't have the funds. River Basin Commission might just do that. It needs to be done.
A, B, C, D. Okay, there's A, B, C, and D.
That, we didn't bring no paper clips. Are you using that one? So you guys can.
Okay, so then we're gonna go with K&L Excavating.
But you still have,
Well, but he only bid.
oh, okay.
I'm just going A, B, C, and D, so we're staying on the same track.
It's not bad. 98,000. Bad at all. He does good work on the river.
So he bid each one at 268 instead of the total price for all sections mentioned. It's 268.
Yeah, well, it's for all of them.
So it's for A is 268, B is
I
268.
wouldn't think so, not when he put this at the bottom for all.
Okay, so here's what we have on this bid. And I'm going to read what it says. Section A price $268,000, B price $268,000, C price $268,000, Section D price $268,000. The total price for all sections mentioned above is $268,000. So does that mean that he's doing all 4 sections for $268,000, or each one is $268,000? Because I'm not. How are you reading it? He's got 268 up here, but then he says the total price for all 4 sections mentioned above is $268,000.
It says total price.
Yeah, total price.
So he's going to do one for 268, but then he's going to do them all for 268.
Looks like.
Right. If we want him to do one, it's still gonna be 268,000.
Yeah. He's not getting in the river unless you give him $268,000. Which would make sense. It ain't easy to mobilize him in the river.
Okay, so we're
Still $286,000 for the same amount that this gentleman over here is gonna do it for
98.
88.
okay. So then back to ALSEP for E, F, G, and H. Each one of them is 25,000 separately. No, sorry, 25,000 for E, 25,000 for F. G is 35,000. H is 58,000, or a price to do the lump sum 97.5.
All right. So we need a motion to forward those to the Kankakee River Basin Commission and to encumber our $7,900 funds from FEMA to help pay for that project, whichever way they choose.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't think you need the envelopes, but.
All right, we'll go to number 9, Taylor Ditch Crossing application.
This is a sewer project up near Saugony Lake. They're going to go underneath the ditch, or our regulated drain in that area. And the only question I had about this is the applicant didn't want to fill out a hold harmless agreement because he didn't feel it was necessary. And I wanted to ask the board if you agree with that, or if you want him to still do it, hold harmless.
Who is the applicant?
Because it's a LaPorte County, they're doing it for the LaPorte County Sewer District.
Yes.
So do you want to hold LaPorte County Sewer District, an entity of LaPorte County, hold harmless against the Drainage Board? I would say yes, because they are 2 separate entities.
Yeah. I would agree.
Whether the LaPorte County or not, they're still 2 separate entities. And they'll do fine work anyways. It's just a legal question.
You don't want to be defending their work if something goes south.
Exactly.
The important part of that bid was, or that application was, they're gonna be 5 feet below the
Yes.
drain, so
Yes.
that's what I'm most concerned about.
So the motion is to accept their application with their design specs and hold harmless.
Motion.
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, 9B, the William arm of the Teesburg ditch.
Is this thing on? Does it need to be on?
Yes, it's on.
My name is Mark Scarborough. I'm just looking for permission for the right of way, to use the right of way of the ditch that he mentioned, going through the state property. I talked to the project manager, or the project manager, or the manager on Toto Road, and he said he was fine with it, as long as I had your guys' approval. He's actually gonna help remove some trees. I just wanna clean the ditch.
Motion to allow.
Hold on, don't you need something else from us too?
Oh, yeah, well, I need a letter saying of approval that you guys gave me the, approval to do it, that I need to pass on to him.
Was this north of 2100?
Yes, between 2100 and the highway.
Pretty standard stuff.
It was done 10 years ago, roughly,
Use of our easement.
and,
Use of our-
Drainage Board allowed him to do it then.
So motion to allow with the whole harmless agreement,
And give him a letter.
Give him a letter.
and we'll give him the letter that he needs. That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passed. Monthly reports, Hudson Lake.
Georgette Joyce, doesn't seem, is it? Okay. Georgette Joyce, 7299 East Hudson Point Lane, New Carlisle. The lake level is about a little over 1.5 inches above the weir, still severely low. The Toad Hawk battery has been a pain, but it looks like it's charging back up. Seems like the larger solar panel they put on it is good. But then it gets dirty, so we have to do something. We're working on it. There are no incidents that we are aware of. We're gonna go ahead and apply for our lake grants in January for the invasive species as well as future dredging. The dredging efforts are painfully slow. We had a slow start with the harvest being taken in late, and then we had the dredger's mom passed, and then we had cold weather. So they're cracking ice and doing things. So they've had to change out equipment. It's still moving. They're still committed to get it done by December 31st. If not, we'll have to go to Plan B to either defer the rest of it until after July 1st, where it's legally, or they might give an extension to do it into January. So praying for warm weather and cooperation for them. And then the drain agreement is still going forward. I didn't get a chance to check on where exactly is for signatures, where the Hudson Lake Conservation Association will manage the drain point forward. We had a Taylor Ditch tour on November 13th. It was very productive. Thanks, John, for participating and helping us along. The DNR wasn't able to join us because there was high wind, so they couldn't bring the drone down. They'll do it at a later date. In attendance, we had John and then John Law from St. Joe County. We had two property owners that are along the ditch, as well as the Hudson Lake Conservation Association. We did discover that there was a need for cleanup along the ditch, so John Law has already commissioned beaver excavation to handle that. He sent us an update, and if they haven't gotten to it, they will be shortly. So that helps us when we open the drain to keep from flooding along as the water heads east. And we also were concerned with the east portion of the Taylor Ditch because that has a property owner that thought that some of the tile was, but it turns out that our collection for taxes that we were looking at doesn't cover that side. So I have to reach out to Saucony to see if there's anything that they can do. In the past, owners took care of it with permission from the board, but it's kind of something we still have to look at. And we also have a process in place now that if we have problems with water backing up, or causing issues with owners, who to call and what emails to send out so that we can manage it quickly. So that's all good news. We're in way better shape than we were before. And we did have our public meeting on November 12th at the New Carolina Public Library. It went really well. A lot of good exchange, and we got some donations out of it, so that was good. Any questions?
Anybody got any questions for her? All righty.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Oh,
Merry Christmas.
Brad, you got anything?
No report.
Tony?
Nope.
I got nothing on joint boards. Claims. Cook ditch. Beaver dam removal, M&K excavating. Before someone makes a motion to this, the beaver dam removal on the Cook ditch. John and I went out and looked at that. I thought at first, and John helped me out with this, did you look back on that bid was for $500 to remove that?
I think it was 1,000 originally.
Okay. So what happened is we went out and looked at that. It is removed. The beaver dam is gone. M&K ended up charging us $1,500. We met out there with Porter County, and Porter County said that they would pay half the bill. So we're going to go ahead and pay it, and then we're going to bill Porter County for the $750. And she pretty much told us if we have any other problems with the Cook ditch, they will handle it. So that's what she told us. So that's what we're going to report back to. So she says if you handle it on LaPorte, when it goes in LaPorte County, that's fine, and we'll take care of it here because it's actually on our side. So no argument from us. So we're going to go ahead and pay this $1,500. So it's really only going to cost us $750.
Which is less than you accepted the bid for.
That's correct. So can I have a motion to pass that or to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any public comment? Come on up.
Pardon me, I've got a very bad cold, so I'm keeping this on. Hi, Dinah Jumbers, Michiana Shores, Indiana. Just a couple of comments. Number one is, I had hoped I was going to get a call about when you visited Michiana Shores. No phone calls, no emails, so I'm sad that I was not able to join you when you checked out the ditch, okay? Number one. Number two, I heard a comment about our cleaning out the silt and stuff, and that the silt was going to be left in place on the various properties. This is really concerning to us. We have photos of what it looked like in the past. When the silt is left, it looked like Afghanistan. And I have pictures of Afghanistan because my brother worked there for years. So I know what it looked like. I mean, it was terrible looking at the various properties where it was left, okay? So that to me is a real concern. As far as I know, there's a lot of money left in that particular budget for our white ditch. So in other words, some of that can be carted out. A real concern is on the path that was made, with regards to, doing things as the DNR had requested from us and so forth. So having it piled up, I don't know what side you're going to decide you're going to dump that on, and then with the others, like I know that, hey, I have a personal interest in there because the shit was, excuse my French, the silt was dropped on our property and on another property, okay? Those are concerns to me. I know my husband and I had to sign hold harmless agreement when we built a new home where we had an old home there. I would like to see records of every other property owner on that ditch to see if they also have hold harmless agreements. Because I don't think that that is fair that only one resident has to do that and the other residents don't. I have asked for that in the past, but I never got any, information on that. So anyway, the piling up of the silt is really a concern. And from the research I had done in the past, it appears that the removal of the silt could definitely be a part of the work that the drainage board does and not just leaving it in place. Okay, so it's not like this is an empty field. These are homes that are built along the ditch. Okay, and people do put efforts into making sure that things look nice. The town is currently working on removing invasive species, from those banks as well. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, as we go forward, but that's the kind of stuff that we're working on. So we would really like to make sure that, since we're replacing things already, that they don't get devastated by the dropping of tons of silt, you know, all over. So thank you very much. That was it. Okay.
Thank you.
If the board would like, we can ask in the bid, John can ask for the cost to remove the silt.
That sounds good. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to get that quote.
Okay, so, but we're gonna have the digging of the ditch
Yeah, you'll have a
separate
yes.
and the hauling out separate, so that it's broke down so we know exactly what we're getting.
Yes.
So do I have a motion to change the motion on the white ditch agreement, the first motion that we had? We will,
So who made the motion? They're
who
gonna
made the
have-
motion?
Who's,
Who
they
made,
have to pull it back.
who made the motion on the on the white ditch?
I don't,
Don't think it was me.
I don't think it was me. I know it wasn't me.
Might have been me. Yeah, I think it was me.
You can amend the
So
motion.
I'll amend the motion to have it quoted for the actual work and then the removal of the silt. That's my motion.
Do you have someplace where that silt can be dumped?
Well, I mean, there's various areas in the town that it might be able to be dumped. I'd have to check with regards to how far it can go off of the ditch itself, because we get regulations we have to sign.
You'll have to come up here so
Yeah,
that we can hear.
I personally do not have places for it to be dumped. However, if we're talking about silt that's being removed from a public ditch, then the town does have public properties, you know, all along the ditch where perhaps maybe moved to a different spot, you know, if instead of in front of people's homes. So that was the big concern. Now, I know that we agree as well on an ordinance that comes down from FEMA and Indiana DNR with regards to making sure that any kind of floodway area is protected and we don't have silt and other kind of things coming back down or causing any kind of a flood later. So those are issues that would have to be taken a look at. And I can't answer that right now. I would have to, you know, see what we can do with regards to that.
Okay, well, I guess in your motion, Connie, I would like to see that you find someplace for us to dump that silt, so that someplace close,
Okay.
so that we don't have to try to haul it 10 miles and this costs us an arm and a leg to do this.
Okay, I can agree to do that.
You can dump it somewhere and then spread it on your
Yeah.
streets for.
In front of somebody else's house.
Wow, I would rather not go in front of anybody's house. Because, you know, the people who are there, it's like, you know, everybody's has a vested interest. They live there and they want to make sure that.
But you
they don't
understand
end up
this-
with their- It's not just I'm thinking of the neighbors kitty corner from us who have put in an awful lot of effort after, you know, picking up a home from someone who'd been letting it go for a while.
Okay, so that we get these bids back by next month. You have till next week to get a hold of John and tell him where we can dump this silt. To
Okay.
where we can dump the silt to where we can haul it to. So we know how many miles we're hauling it
Okay.
away, so that we
I-
have someplace to dump.
Yeah, okay. I will look into that.
Can you add that to your
Okay.
motion?
So my, to add to the motion, it would be having the town look at where they can move the silt to within that town or a short period, a short
Distance.
distance.
Okay.
So do I have a second on that?
I'll second the amendment.
All in favor?
I,
Oh, motion passed.
All right, thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, meeting is adjourned. Next meeting is January 14th at 8:30 in this room.
Happy New Year.